And we are back
Alright,
with
we're back with like, I need to go back into the camera.
and we're back with round 3 of the Ang Pao challenge. Currently we have Zachary Chia versus Benjamin So on stream. So we've already taken a look at the teams, and more dragons showing up in the year of the dragon.
Different dragons too, so let's make it a bit more spicier, right?
Yeah.
Let's see who dragon wins.
Yeah. Shall we do the team
Yeah,
breakdown?
let's do it.
Okay, so on the Zachary side, we have the Ogre Pond Wellspring, Incineroar, Amoonguss, Roaring Moon, Raging Bolt, and Fluttermane. So 2 dragons. Also, we are seeing Roaring Moon on stream first time today. And it's actually the Booster Energy Dragon Dance set, so that's kind of interesting. I was actually talking to Matthew earlier, and he was saying that most of the Roaring Moons should be actually running Tailwind. It's because it's the fastest Tailwind setter with booster speed. But here we see the Dragon Dance variant, so that's going to be interesting to watch. I think that's a setup sweeper. He has also a Peristorm Choice Specs for the main. I don't know whether we'll see that. And a Salt Dash Raging Bolt.
For Benjamin's side, he's running the Gorging Fire King Gambit. I think it's quite popular in the Japan meta game. These two monsters together with a Wellspring Ogre Pond, Rillaboom, Fluttermane, as well as a Chenpao. So interestingly, Gorging Fire is something that picked up, I think, just like 1-2 weeks before the international challenge. I think it got really popular, and then that's why the increase of Lando Eye suddenly came up, and then no one actually played Gorging Fire. it's like a sucker punch kind of thing.
Yeah, I think this particular team, it looks very similar to something I would run. The only difference is that it only has one special attacker in Fluttermane. It's mostly physical. So in this sense, I think the Incineroar on the Zac side would actually be quite pivotal in this matchup. Another thing to take note of, I don't think Roaring Moon will actually want to show up too much here. It does have the access to... It doesn't even have Breaking Swipe, so it can't actually control the attack so much. And there's a lot of things on the van side of the field which actually threaten it. So maybe Roaring Moon won't show up, but we are going to start the match soon, and we'll see how it goes.
And Ben is running one of my favorite Stella Terra on the Chenpao. I like it how you can with the Stella you mess up an opponent's damage count. So depending on your team, I think you can either go Ghost, the more commonly known Ghost, or Stella Terra.
I think people have said that Chenpao is one of the few mons actually can use Stella Terra very well because it packs a lot of moves from all sorts of types. So we do see the lead of Ogre and Gouging Fire from Zen side, and the Raging Bolt and the Amoonguss from Zachary's side. So 2 dragons on the field and 2 grass types. We also see 2 redirectors. Amoonguss and Ogre have access to Rage Powder and Follow Me respectively. So it'll be interesting to see how these two trainers decide to play this turn.
Yeah, Booster Energy popping on the Gorging Fire, boosting its speed. Amoonguss threatening with the spore, but at the same time, like what you mentioned, there's definitely a chance for the redirection done by the Ogre Pond to negate that move. So let's see how things play out. Both of the dragons staring at each other. The more popular of the newer paradox, right? rather than the future ones. But
okay, Amoonguss does switch out for Incineroar. Which is probably good. If the Gouging Fire goes for the Howl here, this kind of entirely negates the attack drop and the attack boost. So yeah.
Alright, so
It depends on what the Raging Bolt is going to do, because it's a very passive turn on Ben's side.
Yeah. But at the same time, I think he mitigates the kind of intimidating drop at the same time, redirecting the damage into Ogre Pond.
At the same time, it's like if you were trying to go for the Howl to boost up the Ogre Pond's attack, now it's kind of very neutral, and Ogre Pond doesn't actually match up well versus Raging Bolt in terms of type. It can't actually hit it well. It can hit Incineroar, but Incineroar is also probably going to just use Fake Out. It could also go for the parting shot. Raging Bolt seems to be in a very comfortable position here.
Yeah, I guess the double attack is kind of like a okay play to make at this point in time, because the Fake Out is threatening the opponent's both of the Pokemon.
And there's nothing, and it's not like Zac can set up his Raging Bolt anyway. So Incineroar does decide to switch out. Fair. Amoonguss coming back in again. Also fair.
Yep. But let's see.
We do see the Burning Bulwark from Gouging Fire.
His signature move.
Racing Spiky Shield. Yeah. So safely from Ben here. Very dead turn, but now instant right up again. Draco Meteor from Raging Bolt into the Ogerpon not doing anything thanks to his spiky shield. But now Amogus is back on the field to, start being a nuisance.
Yeah, I think now what Zach did compared to the first turn, because this is how both teams started out, right? But compared to the first turn, what Zach did is that he managed to put a Thunderbolt damage
Yes.
onto the Ogerpon. So if the same thing happens, meaning to say that Ben is afraid of the Spore coming in, follow me. But now the Draco Meteor will be able to take out the kind of like the Ogerpon, and
Yes.
then the Spore goes into the
Yes.
the Gouging Fire.
We do see the Howl coming out from Gouging Fire as well. Ivy Cudgel does come out. It's probably not going to do a lot to the Amogus.
That's a plus one.
Lethal, I think.
No, it's a
Plus
plus one.
one.
Yeah, because
And
that's double power.
We do see the Draco Meteor coming in, taking out the Ogerpon, so that's one physical attacker down. It's the Spore coming out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so Zach actually played that very well. He had the whole game plan in his mind. He T-bowed once and then he did a swap. So I think what Benjamin was doing is that he was predicting the Incineroar to come back in again, do the same exact cycle that what.
But if
Happening
even
from
if he
one,
was going with that same exact cycle, he was going to be losing out regardless because, as you saw, the Thunderbolt was doing so much damage on the Ogerpon.
Correct, exactly.
And
So it's a
there's
bit too
not-
passive
yeah.
now, yes.
There's nothing he can actually do. The problem is the Raging Bolt is a threat now. And there's nothing he can actually have on his field that can actually do anything. Gouging Fire is now asleep as well. So if he wants to boost his physical attack of his next mon, it's not going to happen. At least not in the first turn.
Benjamin thinking it's time to kind of like rethink about what's his winning game plan from here, because I think Zach
Yeah.
took the momentum quite significantly to his side, right? So I
Yeah.
think now we get to see Bugsy.
The well-trained. It's a Qian Pao coming out.
Why is it Bugsy? I love the nicknames
Is
by
this
the
a
way.
Terra bug?
No, it's not. It's a Stella Terra.
Yeah. I'm not sure because yes, Qianpao does threaten both of these Pokemon with Icicle Crash. Does it have Icicle Crash? Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, it's basically one Pokemon versus these two, and it's not the bulkiest Pokemon.
Yeah, at this point of time, the Incineroar coming back in to kind of drop and intimidate is very fairly obvious, right? But there's nothing much that Benjamin can do about that. Yeah.
I think he also needs to start doing something about the Amogus because the Amogus is just going to put his entire team to sleep. That's it. He's not been able to do much at all.
We're seeing a Terra from Zachary's side of the field, choosing for the Fairy Terra. Oh, sorry,
No, the
my bad.
Stella-
That's the Qianpao first.
Yeah, the
Yep.
Stella Terra Qianpao.
Yep.
So giving it a boost to all its attack.
That's actually a pretty good. I think that's if the damage calc is enough to actually knock out whatever slot that he's aiming for. I think that's pretty good. But we see a reactor Terra Fairy from Zachary's side.
Yeah, so that well, it only survived though, because the Stellar Terra is also messing up my damage.
Yeah, exactly right. But I think if my calcs are right, Amogus should be able to survive the Icicle Crash.
I kind of feel like a protect and then waiting for the Gouging Fire to wake up my out here. But no, Icicle Crash does go. Does it critical hit? No, it does not. Yeah, even with the +1 from the Gouging Fire, I don't think we have picked it up.
Definitely, yeah. So it's good Terra Fairy from Zachary's side. And as what you mentioned, right, everything is going to sleep.
Yeah.
Sleep now.
And I think also it's like Incineroar coming in this turn as well, reducing the attack from the Qianpao. Really good. And Qianpao is not the bulkiest Pokemon. And it could probably just die from a Flare Blitz. It would probably be knocked out. And Gouging Fire, what is Gouging Fire actually going to do here? It's just been sleeping and every time it's tried to use Howl, it has been negated by the Incineroar switching in.
Yeah, I think now the problem for Benjamin is really getting past the Amogus, right? That's the key problem, right? And now Flare Blitz going into check-off slot as well as breaking the focus sash. Hopefully the Gouging Fire, it was still asleep, so and the Amogus column puff into the check-off, taking that down.
So I mean, Benjamin has also already just lost his Terra Pokemon, and he is down to his last two. And I don't think he's actually managed to do make any significant headways versus Zachary's team.
Yep. So I think going on to the next game, what's going to be on the back of Benjamin's mind is that, okay, how am I going to deal with this Amogus as well as the Incineroar that keeps coming in. He did reacted with a Howl, which technically is good because you negate the Intimidate, but then again, Zachary did play very well while trying to chip off the Ogerpon so that it comes into Draco Media range, take it out, and then start making everything to sleep. Yeah. So I think Benjamin's plan was he had Rillaboom, he had
He didn't bring his Rillaboom. He didn't bring
the Rillaboom came out. The last one.
Oh, it just
his last one is it's a Rillaboom.
I think the problem now is that Gouging Fire actually can probably do very well against the Among Us. Same with yeah, so it's like I feel like if the Gouging Fire wasn't like trying to use Howl so much, if it actually started doing damage to the Among Us, maybe that would have already started.
Yep.
So I think focusing on actually advancing your board rather than trying to set yourself up might be the play here. Because what Zachary has is the tools to actually negate all your setup. So
And then, but Zachary choosing to show his fourth mod, bringing out the Roaring Moon.
I think Roaring is pretty good here. Yeah,
Yeah, I guess predicting the grass attack coming into the Roaring Moon slot, right?
Yeah.
Because
the Moon slot, yeah. So Heat Crash has come out, not going to be effective on these two dragon types. Woodhammer also not going to be effective.
So great dragons doing so well. As expected from the dragon year as well.
Yeah, we have 3 dragons. Unfortunately, one of them is not doing well today.
But you see what Zachary is doing is just keeping the Incineroar at the back, constantly intimidating.
Yeah.
Benjamin has no back to retreat to reset the intimidates already. So it's pretty much really in Zachary's favor the
I
whole game.
kind of wonder whether King Gambit would be useful here just to negate the Incineroar, but King Gambit itself also wouldn't be able to stop the Incineroar too much because the Incineroar also has Will Roots.
Yeah.
So it is something that Ben has to take in mind. He can't just rely on Howl. I think the Gouging Fire needs to start attacking. I also think that maybe he needs to rethink his plan on what he actually wants to do. Because we saw the first few turns, he kind of just let Zachary get damage off for free, essentially.
Yeah. So I think for Benjamin's like next now he knows the Zachary is doing a cycle kind of thing. He's retreating, bringing in, switching out his Incineroar, throwing intimidates all around, right? So I think maybe from Zachary's perspective, he can start kind of doing the aggressive reads to kind of like bring the favor over to him.
Yeah, I think he needs to be more aggressive with his plays. So
high horsepower going into breaking swipe's coming out from the Gouging Fire, reducing the attack of the opponent's side of field. Then subsequently a high horsepower going into the Incineroar slot. Yeah, I mean yes, you're chipping, but at this point of time, 2 mods against 4 is going to be very tough.
It's really tough, especially since Among Us probably restore itself with its regenerator. I think Gouging Fire is actually good here. Like now that you see actually trying to do stuff, it seems to be doing some actual damage. But the problem is that it wasn't able to do that previously in the earlier part of this round. High horsepower does not even pick up the Incineroar. Acrobatics did not pick up the Rillaboom, but I think it's still very much Zachary's game here.
Yeah, I think it's good to know the calcs, right? The acrobatics, non-terra acrobatics going into the Rillaboom. Rillaboom surviving that, so I think moving to the next game, right? Zachary's side has some information that he knows that I'm not going to be able to pick out Rillaboom in one shot. So what's my game plan? So I have to do the same thing that I did with the Raging Ball into the Open slot, where I hit once, chip it, and then finish it off with my acrobatics.
I think Roaring Moon is good against the grass types for sure, but I still don't really know whether it's the safest one to bring in this matchup.
Yeah, I think it's very difficult because Benjamin probably bought his 4 mons that are good into Among Us.
Yeah,
everything got put to sleep, right?
Yeah. The problem is that he ignored the Among Us at the start because he was like, I have good mods. He was probably expecting Zachary to play a bit more defensively, which is fair. Zachary did play a bit defensively by terroring the Among Us, and that made things so much more difficult for him.
Yeah. So now 1 dragon against the world.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, Roaring Moon is probably faster, and you still have Raging Bolt at the back, and you have Among Us. The problem is the Among Us mostly.
Yeah, so I think now the thing to consider is that I think maybe Zachary brought a good 4.
Yes.
Right? So maybe there's very little adjustments that he needs to make on his end. But Benjamin's side is gonna be very difficult, right? Like you said, do you bring the King Gambit? Yes, it's good against intimidates, but at the same time, like you mentioned.
I mean, the thing is, right, maybe you lead King Gambit Gouging Fire, and then you go on the offense with your Gouging Fire instead.
Yeah, I think that's a
But your problem is that not only does King Gambit does not want to deal with Incineroar, it does not want to deal with the Among Us, it does not want to deal with the Raging Bolt. And even the Fluttermane and Ogerpon will probably give it a bit of trouble. So,
but we'll see what adjustments we made. He runs a Swords Dance set, so I mean, taking the if you get Intimidator, you get +1.
He does not have safety goggles. He's running black glasses. So so the problem is the Among Us is very very good into King Gambit in that sense.
Yeah.
So
But he has the Swords Dance, so even if he gets below his, he can technically boost that and negate the burn.
I suppose, but it's not. You have to put in more effort, you know. I mean, but okay, if you get burned, then you can't get spawned.
Yeah. So I guess the Rillaboom was the odd one out in the sense that it just came out and it literally did nothing, right? Because
I feel like maybe if it also potentially if you let Rillaboom gouging fire, you also had the fake out pressure. Then you can actually set up your howl. Leading Ogremon, I don't think was the best choice at that point. So I don't think Rillaboom is bad.
it's just the typing that you're fighting so many dragons, right? So your high horsepower really has to kick in. You're threatened by acrobatics constantly.
Do you have U-turn?
I
It
don't
does
think so.
not, it has
If you
fake
run high
out.
horsepower, then you
Yeah,
don't have
yeah,
U-turn,
yeah.
right? So it's good to bring in because you're afraid of a spore, but
Yeah.
that didn't really play out because
But you
everything
fake
else.
out, but you can fake out and then you can start, boosting. So that's another thing. We do see the Incineroar and Raging Ball, and King Gambit will get that beautiful Defiant boost.
Nice, very nice.
But it is facing Raging Bolt and Incineroar.
Yeah, but what Benjamin did is that if he's afraid of Tornado Whiz, he'll be able to redirect it to his side. He does have the double protect. in his
Yeah, but
action.
don't forget the Raging Bolt also has Thunderbolt, so it can actually just attack. So the Ogre so Ogre probably only has about 2 turns to be actually useful, and yeah, that's something that Benjamin has to keep in mind.
Yep. Oh, very interesting. We didn't see the Rillaboom coming up right there, and neither the fake out, right? He switched out back into his Among Us.
Which
So
is
it's kind of like the same cycle, right? When you play BO3, you will see the habits of your opponent. What are they likely gonna do? So,
because he is expecting the double protect here. We do see a Thunderbolt coming out from the Raging Bolt. It should do about significant, about 40%. Sword Dance though.
going up for Sword Dance. Right
Okay, I'm pretty sure that might force the Amogus Terra. This might force the Amogus Terra, because if you Rage Powder and you take a Kowtow Cleave, you're just going to die. You might have to Terra. But we'll see how. We'll see what he does.
He's the usual King Gambit set which carries only dark moves, right?
Yeah.
So both the Fairy Terras on both mons will actually be very beneficial for as a defensive Terra for Zachary as well.
Yes. I'm not sure. Yeah, maybe he does. What Zachary is doing, you can see that he's actually choosing the Fairy Terra on the Raging Bolt, which is a good thing. And I think, but at the same time, if the Kowtow Cleave goes into the Amogus, I think at +3 it will probably pick it up in one hit.
Yep. Which is what Benjamin wants to see, right?
I would think so.
You take the Amogus out of the picture.
But you see the
it's a very
protect,
defensive move, yeah. Very good play from Zachary. Because even if the Kowtow Cleaves come into one side, you protect the other side. So and you take less damage.
Yeah, so we'll see what King Gambit chooses to do. We do see a Thunderbolt going
Into the Overpon. Yep.
it's a 2-hit KO. Sword Dance again! Wow, Benjamin, really? That's a +5 King Gambit. Okay, now things are getting dangerous.
Yeah. But it's actually a very good play for Benjamin though. Like really, he read that Zachary will go defensively. One protect, one Fairy Terra on either mons.
Yeah.
It's actually it doesn't get any better than that. The Sword Stance is actually a very clear way to bring things back on his side.
We do see the follow me again from the Ogre Pawn.
Yep. We know the damage calcs. Draco Meteor will take it out likely.
But we'll see what happens here. I'm pretty sure King Gambit should outspeed Humongous.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no.
Come on, how would you train your King Gambit to outspeed to underspeed Mungus?
I think maybe it's a fast Amogus, is what I'm saying. We do see a Kowtow Cleave, it should pick up the Amogus. It does. That's a beautiful one.
Come on, if it's +5
Yeah.
Kowtow Cleave from a King Gambit and your Mungus live, I will be playing Among Us anytime.
I would think the chances would be better if the Amogus was fast enough to outspeed King Gambit.
Alright.
So Among Us has been removed, and King Gambit's at +5, so that's a very good position for Ben to be in. But at the same time,
And don't forget, the Raging was -2 from the Draco Meteor as
yes, but the Raging Bolt still outspeeds King Gambit, and
well. But what can he do now? With -2. The King Gambit is fairly bulky,
yeah.
right? And we're gonna see +6. This is what I want to see on stream. +6 King Gambit.
+6 King Gambit. And remember, the Raging Bolt is Assault Vest.
Yep.
So I think Sucker Punch, it'd be very easy to just go for the Sucker Punch here. But at the same time, it's like, you kind of have to keep in mind, the Incineroar is there. It can flare blitz, it can fake out, right?
Yeah. I think Zachary's like kind of like deciding which way to move, right? Because one fake out pressure is definitely a thing. King Gambit might go for the protect. Fluttermane is a choice specs. It's a choice specs. So it can protect, right? So if the King Gambit protects, then I should hit into the Fluttermane, right? Yeah. So Zachary he's being really reading the opponent and trying to be on top of this match.
I think he has to in this situation.
Okay, that's fair. The +16
Moonblast
Moonblast
come
coming out into the Incineroar.
Incineroar.
Wow, did very well.
Thunderbolt into the Fluttermane.
Okay, so
But the King Gambit did not protect. It did not protect.
Benjamin. Also reading the opponent very well.
That's it. Counter Cleave is going to do not very effective damage to both of these Pokemon. So it'll depend.
Which one will he take out though? I think just go for the Incineroar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just go for the Incineroar.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. But then again, now you have to think about it.
If the last one is
plus 6 counter cleave, full health Incineroar, would you think it will not take out? Because he went to Moonblast into that slot and then he counter cleaved into that slot, right?
I don't think it will have. I think
don't
it,
think-
I think it will have taken out.
Yeah, so
but-
maybe that's a damage count that maybe Ben knows
No,
better than us.
no,
No one counts for that.
But you see, right? Things would have gone badly for him if he faked out the King Gambit and Thunderbolted into that slot.
Yeah. Definitely.
So that was a call that Ben had to make and Zach had to make, and Ben came out on top. And yeah, Roaring Moon doesn't actually pair up very well versus King Gambit. It can't actually hit it too well. It
Yeah.
has knockoff and acrobatics.
Yeah. So I think overall it's a very good adjustment for Benjamin, but there's definitely reads that had
Yeah.
to be made, even with the selection of the King Gambit. I think what we saw is that there was a change. The Gorging Power was removed because Intimidate was so pressuring, right?
Yeah.
Every time you have to roar to kind of like bring back your board speed, then your Gorging Fire is not even moving and attacking whatever slot.
I think the one thing though is that Zach went for the Draco Meteor instead of the Thunderbolt on the Overpon. Because of that, his Raging Bolt got dropped to -2, and that means that it wasn't able to threaten as much as it could have.
Yep.
So another thing to consider is that maybe if he just went for the Thunderbolt, if that already picked up the Overpon, maybe that would have been the better choice as well.
Yeah.
And
But
then-
I think now there's a pattern that Benjamin's picking up on.
Yeah.
He does Zachary does
Have a
Thunderbolt
certain way
and
of
then, yeah,
playing.
a certain way of playing. And that is obviously what Benjamin kind of like came
Yeah.
on top and like kind of tried to read
Yeah.
through, right? Yeah.
Well,
So,
I mean, it comes down to the fact that it's like if Zach has.
I mean, but it's a ballsy move to
yeah.
kind of like Swords Dance
Yeah.
twice
Yeah.
and you get a +6 in Gambit because the opponent intimidated you
Yeah.
twice.
And then also it's like you also have to think keep into consideration. Zach also probably now knows that Ben is reading him somewhat. So now it becomes like, are you reading me in this turn or shall I read you on this turn? You know.
yeah.
So I think that's one thing I really like about these kind of games. And
Agreed.
the way that Zach plays usually, like you saw in the first game, he was already trying to read the very basic moves, and that's why he won because Ben was just testing the waters in the sense. But now that Ben is also reading, it's like, how is this going to play out?
Yeah. I think really the King Gambit was really the MVP of that match, right?
It was, but
2 games in a row, can you get
I don't
two
think
spots?
I don't
Yeah,
think
you're
I don't
probably not
think
gonna get that.
I don't think you're going to get that. I think
Yeah.
you're just going to say, look, hey, if you're just going to lead your Incineroar, I have a King Gambit, and then you try to force the adjustment to like, okay, now I have to go and fight against a King Gambit, and then you bring something else.
Yeah, definitely.
But on the other hand, if you call that you know your opponent is calling you to bring something else, then do you bring something else? And
yeah.
yeah,
But I
King
think-
Gambit mind games.
Yeah, I think Zachary's 4 is very solid. Like, to be honest, like
Yeah.
I think it covers for mainly what it does. And
Zachary
there's
has
the
the
type,
tools.
yeah, there's a
Zachary has a tools. He, in between Incineroar, Amogus, and his Wellspring Pokemon, he has a lot of ways to set up his Pokemon.
right. Yeah.
And even just by we saw the Incineroar and the Amogus just like with those 2 ones, he could disable so much of Benjamin's play in game 1.
Yeah.
So-
yeah, definitely.
Whereas Benjamin's side is a bit more aggressive. Like his plays have to be a bit more aggressive in that sense. So we'll see what happens here. We do see the King Gambit
and Overpod. So
again.
this is the same tool that we saw from the
Yeah.
game 2, which actually worked out in Benjamin's favor. But I think now Zachary recognizing that this is potentially a trap. I'll just bring out my Amogus
Yes.
and the Roaring Moon to threaten the knockout on the
Overpod.
On the Overpod. Yeah.
And I think the thing is, right, King Gambit does not like the situation at all. I mean, yeah, you can follow me, but you're following me, and then you'll take the acrobatics. And if you choose to Terra, you will also end up taking the Spore. So even if you Sword Stance on King Gambit, I don't think +1 Sword Stance Counter Thief is enough to. I mean, +2 Sword Stance Counter Thief is enough to pick up the
Amogus.
Amogus.
Yeah, you have to probably chip it first and then move forward.
Yes. So
But-
it gets a bit difficult in this situation.
Yeah, but I think great adjustments Zachary.
Yes.
First of all.
Yes. We do see a spiky shield coming in from Wellspring Overpond. Is the King Gambit going to end up taking a Spore this turn? Dragon Dance from Roaring Moon, not even going to bother with the acrobatics. Very good call
Very
from,
good, yeah,
from
Zachary's side.
Yeah.
And then now the King Gambit is gonna move, so it goes on
The
Sword
Sword
Dance.
Dance. Oh, but I think this is very open for Spore.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Spore does come into the King Gambit, putting it to sleep. And the thing is, right, Roaring Moon is now boosted, and the thing is, Roaring Moon has actually do things, whereas King Gambit actually needs more boost in order to actually do
The
stuff.
sub-knocking of
Yeah.
opponents, yeah.
So yeah, the thing is, right, if he ignores the King Gambit long enough, the King Gambit wakes up and starts doing damage. That's nothing to worry about. But right now, the Ogerpon is probably whatever it switches into the Ogerpon slot is probably in is a very bad position as well. Ogerpon also probably doesn't want to stay in, or he might have to choose to sacrifice the Ogerpon.
But I think Zachary said he still can get rid of King Gambit. Yes, it's asleep. Yes, it's asleep for one turn. But if he gets an early wake up, it's still a +2 King Gambit, right?
Yeah. Raging Bolt does turn up.
Yeah, that's a great kind of like
Spiky Shield going for the two turns of Spiky Shield.
Very good stuff.
Acrobatics finally. I guess that was I think that was actually.
But that's also
play.
that's also an indication that
He
Benjamin
can't switch
has
in. He
nothing
can't
at the back
switch-
to
he can't
kind of
switch
like
in,
switch in. But he gets technically a free turn to try to wake up. So from next turn onwards, King Gambit will have a potential to wake up.
Yes, but the problem is now that King Gambit. The thing is, right? Roaring Moon can't hit King Gambit, but King Gambit hitting Roaring Moon. Yeah, Roaring Moon's defense is not great, but it's still resisted. It's still a resisted attack, and I don't know. I kind of feel like the poor Ogerpon is just kind of. Yeah,
Damn.
it's not going to survive this turn.
I think if the King Gambit wakes up, pulls off a great Kowtow clip into the Raging Bolt. That's actually
Raging Bolt outspeeds. Raging Bolt should outspeed.
Yeah, but it still have a significant amount of damage into the Raging Bolt.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
We'll see what happens here. Raging Bolt should move first. Thunderbolt should
definitely.
do about 40, 40. Yeah.
Oh,
40.
that did more than the first round though.
Yeah.
Okay, but King Gambit not waking up.
Yeah, that's why the thing with King Gambit is that the thing is, right, once people know what you're going to do, it's a bit difficult. You have to start thinking about how to adjust. You can't just go with the same thing.
The adjustments are a bit difficult with... I think Zachary really made a great adjustment.
Yeah. Okay, and the problem now is that Flutter Mane, if it was here before the Roaring Moon started Dragon Dancing, it would have been fine. But now that the Roaring Moon is like at what, +1?
+1 speed as well. So +1 of attack and speed.
So I think it's actually I think Zachary has Benjamin pretty well pinned.
Yep, I agree on that. I think the +1 acrobatics, if he decides to go for Terra, definitely the Flutter Mane is not going to survive that.
Yeah.
But
I just
oh,
I mean,
let's see how to play out. Zachary obviously has been making the correct calls the whole
yeah,
game.
I mean, to be fair, if this KOs, then yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. But probably the players know their cults more than me. I've not played Roaring Moon in Reg yet.
I think that makes sense. But if this doesn't work, that is going to be hilarious, I swear.
But it's a double. Yeah, but he went for the sucker punch, right? That's quite obvious to move first.
Yeah.
Roaring Moon going into the acrobatics into the King Gambit, which survived, and then a Dazzling Beam going in, doing significant amount of damage. But Raging Bolt obviously being a Southwest. Zachary's damage
his damage count is on point.
It's
very on point.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Zachary is approaching this game very well.
Yep.
Just by bringing the Among Us. Yeah, because like I said, King Gambit does not like fighting Among Us.
Yeah, but like you see, right, there was definitely a risk in that play because if the sucker punch, Benjamin read correctly.
Yeah,
he was seeing, into the Roaring Moon, right? Take it out. Once you take out the Roaring Moon, right, the game is yours.
Yeah.
Likely. With a plus, because you have a Infinity at the back and you get a +3.
And then you don't have Flutter Mane.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I guess in this case it's kind of about the sleep rolls, which is 50%. That's Pokemon. That's a game we play.
Yeah, no, but I would like to say Benjamin really played it very well. Also, he always had a game plan. Yes, it was based on luck, but at the same time he was already pinned from the get go.
I kind of think that's why I would have left Rillaboom instead of Pokemon in the first under game 3. Then
or maybe bring in the Chimpao. The Chimpao does good, does well because I think the Among Us has been always a problem.
Yeah, no, I think he was probably a bit afraid of what else Zach had, which was like Raging Bolt again. Probably.
Going to see the
Flutter Mane.
Terra on Chimpao. Yep, like a last minute attempt to kind of like dish in some damage before it goes down. But Roaring Moon going for the protect.
Did it go for the Incineroar? I mean, he went for the Sucker Punch onto the And we see Dazzling Gleam. It's not going to pick up the KO on the Incineroar.
It's gonna be locked into Dazzling Gleam for the remaining of the game. Not doing significant enough damage to kind of like kind of wither down the whole game, but
You do see
That's
that? Okay.
that's pretty much game.
Yeah.
All right, but really,
That was really well played from both players.
yeah, but I think Zachary played Zachary played it
Very
very
well.
well. Yeah, he really understood the game. He did a proper reaction at the response to King Gambit, which was to bring up his Mungus as well as so I think but really Benjamin also he played out to his
He played to his ups. He
yeah,
played to his ups.
yeah.
Unfortunately, he didn't get that wake up.
Yeah,
so.
the wake up. But if it did happen, then definitely it would have changed things. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think really,
I
I mean, we're seeing high level plays today.
Yeah, we are.
Really,
We are.
really great
Like
level
because
play.
I think a lot of it was also determined on which mons they chose for game one. So
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So I think the superior dragon, can we agree, for round 3 was
Roaring Moon. Even though I said the Roaring Moon, I really don't think Roaring Moon was good against that team. But you know,
yeah. Well, it did play out well.
it did play out well. It did play out well.
All right. Okay. So
So
I
we
think
will be back with round 4 soon.
look at Melvin at the back.